K.Kulkarni, Assistant Professor, Civil Engineering Department, Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur. I am here to discuss with you on topic Managerial Economics, Part 2 and Principles in Managerial Economics. Learning outcomes of today's session are, at the end of the session, students will be able to explain principles of managerial economics and their application. Dear students, we know managerial economics is the important subject which applies economic theories and principles to help in making effective business decisions. Very important. Optimize resource allocation and achieve profit maximization. So managerial economics helps in making us effective business decisions which will flourish the business and optimize resource allocation as well as achieving the profit maximization. Now let us see certain principles of managerial economics. Which are those? One, incremental principle. Second, time perspective principle. Third, opportunity cost principle. Fourth, equi-marginal principle. Fifth, discounting principle. Sixth, marginalism principle. Seventh, concept of scarcity. We have studied first three principles in our previous video, part 1. Let us today study the next principles from serial number 4 to 7. Equi-marginal principle. What it says? It states that resources should be allocated in such a way that the marginal benefit or utility derived from each unit of resource is equal across all possible uses. What it will ensure? It will ensure the most efficient use of resources to maximize total benefit or profit. In other words, what it says, a firm should continue spending resources like money, time or effort or different activities until the additional or marginal returns from all the activities are same. This is equi-marginal principle. Let us see example of this principle. A company investing in two products should distribute its budget so that the last rupee spent on each product generates the same amount of profit. If one product yields higher returns, more resources should be shifted towards it until equality is reached. So this is the example of equi-marginal principle. And relationship which is used for this particular principle to follow, MUA by PA is equal to MUB by PB is equal to MUN by PM, where MU is marginal utility or benefit and P is the price or cost. That means marginal utility divided by price. This particular ratio should remain constant across all the sections. This is example of equi-marginal principle. Now let us see discounting principle in the next one. What it states? It states that the value of money decreases over time, meaning that a rupee today is worth more than a rupee in the future. This is called discounting principle. Now this principle recognizes the time value of money and is essential for managers to evaluate investments by bringing future costs and revenues back to their present value, allowing for a valid comparison of alternative decisions. That means managers are able to take alternative decisions by taking care of this particular principle. The value of money changes, we know. And now managers use this principle to compare present costs and future benefits by converting future cash flows into their present value using a discount rate. And this helps in making decisions about long-term investments, projects and financial planning. So this helps in long-term planning, long-term investments for a businessman. Now let us see one example of this particular discounting principle. If an investment promises rupees 1 lakh after 5 years, its present value will be less than 1 lakh today because of the time value of money. It is evident. Now, what is the key formula for this particular example? Present value is equal to future value divided by 1 plus r bracket raised to n, where I is the discount rate and n is the number of years. R is the discount rate and n is the number of years. So, this particular formula is used for finding out the present value of the future value given. Okay. Marginalism principle in managerial economics. One more principle is there, marginalism principle. This principle focuses on the impact of small changes in decision making, and it states that a decision is profitable if the marginal benefit exceeds the marginal cost. This is important. Firms use this principle to decide on producing additional units or allocating resources. It helps optimize output and pricing for maximum profit. And this principle is key to making efficient short-run and long-run business decisions. Remember, this principle is profitable. This particular principle says that a decision is profitable if the marginal benefit exceeds the marginal cost. Okay, so this is called marginalism principle. Now let us see one example. A company considers producing one more unit of a product. If the marginal cost is 50 and the marginal revenue is 70, then the firm gains rupees 20 from this extra unit. Since revenue exceeds the cost, producing this extra unit is a profitable decision under the marginalism principle. Okay, so there should be a situation such that the marginal revenue should be more than the marginal cost. Then this decision can be acceptable, otherwise not. Now let us see the next principle, concept of scarcity. What it says: the concept of scarcity in managerial economics refers to the basic economic problem that resources are limited while human wants are unlimited. We know resources are always limited, but our needs are unlimited. Businesses face scarcity of resources like raw materials, labor, time, capital, and technology, which forces them to make choices and prioritize their uses. So these are the resources which we are facing their scarcity. Now scarcity leads to the need for efficient decision making, to allocate resources in a way that maximizes profit and minimizes costs. So what we should do? In spite of such a scarcity, the decisions, if we take those decisions are effective decisions, efficient decisions, then we can make best use of the available resources, and the profit can be gained in the businesses. Managers must decide what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce, considering these limitations. Now example, a company with limited capital must decide whether to invest in product development or expand marketing activities, knowing it cannot do both fully due to scarcity of funds. So the scarcity of funds must be considered, and the decisions must be made accordingly by the managers. Now, dear students, let us stop a while here. Here are two questions for you. Read them carefully, give the answer. First question, the equi-marginal principle requires that. Select the correct option out of these. And second question is, according to the discounting principle, a rupee today is worth. Select the correct options from the given options. Come on, solve it. Now let us see the answers. First question, answer B is the correct option. So equi-marginal principle requires that resources are allocated until marginal benefit per unit is equal. Hope you have written the correct answer. Second one, its option is also B. So according to the discounting principle, a rupee today is worth more than a rupee in the future. So these are the correct answers. I hope you have written them correctly. These are the references for today's session. Thank you.